So this is week 4 for me, and I did the Purposeful Titans exercise. I have only done 2 of the 3 interviews. My third one is scheduled for next Monday. And I reached really high. I reached out to Elizabeth Gilbert, messaging her on Instagram and reminded her that we had met in the baths at Esalen years ago, but I never heard anything back. One of the guys that I emailed responded immediately. He's got a huge list, 500 readers a month. I'm sorry, 5 million readers a month. And said he'd be happy to do it. Could we record it? And I said, yeah. I went to schedule it and he ghosted. So then I've done these other 2, both with women, both with very spiritually based practices. And both of them, said, that what anchors them in their purpose is their meditation practice in huge part and their connection to nature. They both had a sense as a child of a connection to something larger, and that one in particular who had done a lot of international modeling and had a record contract got pulled away from her purpose by the glam and the externals. The other was also mentioned for very different reasons, being afraid of what other people would think, but now both have gotten to the other side of that and are very committed to their purpose. So that was a good exercise. The biggest thing I think for me that happened this week was in my purposeful share. My sister, who was not in my inner group of 10 people, was in town last week, and I had the opportunity to stretch. She went from being raised Catholic to born-again Christian, very opposite end of the political spectrum. And for the first 2 days of her visit, I was really tense. My daughter couldn't even stand to be around me because she said, "Mommy, you're so tense." And once I opened up to my sister and decided to be who I really am, once I started talking about this purpose that I'm newly discovering and exploring, they had questions. My sister and her family had questions about it, but I didn't feel any judgment. And the rest of the trip was so much more pleasant. So I'm really glad that I did that and had the opportunity to be me and have a really positive response as a result.